Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we are going to finally end off this series. Every time the next LeBron James faced off against LeBron James. So now we finally, I was expecting the uploader of these videos to make another one. I was expecting a Kevin Durant video. Where that at? I was expecting I was expecting an Allen Iverson video. Where that at? A Shaq video. Where that at? I was expecting a lot of videos of other superstars facing off against superstars that was compared to them. But no, we gonna have to stop here at LeBron. We supposed to do this a couple of weeks ago, but I got suspended for the porn star videos. By the way, I got some more porn star videos on the way. Stay tuned. I got some more porn star videos on the way. I told you, YouTube, we made it personal. But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into this. Every time the next LeBron James faced off against LeBron James. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
And I say this now with Ben Simmons. Hey, LeBron, we're good, bro. You can go.
It's extremely unlikely we ever see another prospect like LeBron James. Someone that, despite being fresh off high school graduation, when he went first overall in 2003, felt like a...
The only LeBron James prospects that come to mind is probably... I don't know. Shit. I know Ben Simmons is one. I'm trying to see who else. Ben Simmons is one. I think Zion is number 2. I think that's the only two, Zion and Ben Simmons. But yeah, without further ado, let's get back into this.
Guaranteed franchise-altering talent barring injury. Up until that point, high schoolers going straight to the league had a mixed record. For every Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett, there was a Kwame Brown and Darius Miles. But it was very clear we didn't have a Kwame Brown on our hands. Coming out of St. Vincent St. Mary, he was compared to a slew of legends. Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Kobe Bryant. Comparisons LeBron welcomed and would go on to make good on. 4 titles, 19 All-Star appearances, 4 Finals MVPs, an assist title, a scoring title, a net worth of $1 billion. And with a career that transcended, few scouts even whispered LeBron's name in the same breath as a draft prospect. Because while LeBron lived up to those lofty expectations and NBA legend comparisons, that puts quite a bit of pressure on a player, something few are cut out for. But nonetheless, we have seen the comparison come up on a few rare occasions. Surprisingly, the first big-time LeBron draft prospect comparison came smack dab in the middle of his prime. It wasn't like LeBron was still learning the ropes in Cleveland with a very poor supporting cast. That might have made sense. After all, in those lean years with Cleveland, he was an all-star but yet to be an NBA champion. In fact, after a series of playoff exits, he'd yet to convince some he could even lift a team to a title by himself. But going into the 2014 draft, he was a superstar. He'd produced 2 titles with Miami alongside Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, and was on the verge of returning to Cleveland after ripping the city's heart out a few years earlier in the decision. He was in the process of going from perhaps the most hated to the most beloved player in the league, if not professional sports. And for the first time in pretty much the history of his career, a prospect was starting to receive his comparison from the few bold enough to say something that ridiculous. The player, Jabari Parker. Despite what we know today about Jabari Parker's career, some of the ingredients for a LeBron comp were there.
In what fucking universe was Jabari Parker ever compared to LeBron James? When they spoke of Jabari Parker, I heard Paul Pierce. I heard Carmelo Anthony. A lot of Carmelo Anthony. Some would say Derrick Rose with a jump shot. I never heard nobody say Jabari Parker was anything close to fucking LeBron James. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. And remember, he was drafted number 2 by the Bucks. Didn't pan out. Had a promising career, but didn't pan out. Knees. He had the Michael Redd syndrome. The knees gave out on him. But it's okay, though. We had Giannis, so... Fuck Jabari Parker. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that nigga good. Fuck that nigga good. We don't care about no damn Jabari Parker. Fuck that nigga good. But anyways, though, I'm just saying, though, who in their right mind was compared? Hell no, bro. Fuck no, nigga. Ain't no fucking way, bro.
Hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks. Hey, boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no 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 fucking way, boy.
The fuck out of here.
Like LeBron, Parker was a high school phenom. He'd become the first junior to be named Illinois' Mr. Basketball, a list that includes Jalen Brunson, Derrick Rose, and Kevin Garnett. And in that same year, he became one of just 4 juniors ever, one of those juniors being LeBron James, to be named Gatorade National Player of the Year. And then came the Sports Illustrated cover. The magazine touted the 17-year-old as the best high school prospect since LeBron. Not only that, but the article would go on to compare Parker's handles to legendary point guard Oscar Robertson, and even one basketball evaluator went on record and said that Parker's basketball IQ was potentially higher than LeBron's was at the same age. With this article, Parker's stock was soaring. The next year, his senior year of high school, he was a McDonald's All-American, the 4th-rated prospect in the country. Oh, and he secured his 4th state championship in 4 years, a feat even LeBron didn't hit. After high school, he would head off to play for Coach K and the Duke Blue Devils. There it became pretty clear that Parker lacked LeBron's vision, but he was still dominating the college ranks. Over 19 points and nearly 9 rebounds a game. It wasn't long before Parker and Andrew Wiggins were being discussed as the next LeBron, Carmelo Anthony, both of whom were taken in 2003 and matured into superstars. In fact, ahead of the draft, it was actually Parker who earned more of the Melo comparisons. He was looked at as a sure thing, not just among forwards, but of all draft
prospects. That's what I was saying. He was compared more to Carmelo than LeBron. Nobody was saying this nigga was close to LeBron. Nobody was saying this nigga was nowhere near LeBron. Everybody was saying he was a Paul Pierce, Carmelo Anthony type of player. Or you would say he was a Derrick Rose with a jump shot. That's what a lot of people say. He was either Derrick Rose with a jump shot, Carmelo Anthony, or Paul Pierce. That's who you was comparing him to. Nobody was comparing this nigga to fucking LeBron. Get the fuck out of here.
Aspects. For a moment, there was a real shot that both Parker and LeBron could have been teammates.
I don't know who the fuck was saying this. Whoever was saying this shit back in 2014.
That drafted him. But ultimately,
you was smoking
Parker
crack.
Second overall
you was on that dope. You was on that sugar, boy.
Opted for Wiggins with the top pick.
You was smoking on that good shit. You was smoking on that powder.
The team, the Cavaliers would ship away Wiggins for Timberwolves All-Star Kevin Love.
Stored mountains of that shit.
Put LeBron and Parker in 2 vastly different places when they met for the very first time. As on top of Love and LeBron, the Cavaliers also boasted All-Star playmaker Kyrie Irving and had entered the season as the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference. The Bucks, meanwhile, were a 500 team that finished second to last in attendance. But luckily, the fans still had some hope they could hold on to. In theory, they had an ace forward to bring the team to a new era. And coincidentally, possibly the peak of that player's rookie season came on December 2nd, 2014, when the Bucks traveled to Lake Erie to face the Cavaliers. Despite the 2 franchises being far apart expectation-wise, the game was a back-and-forth affair. Parker played nearly 38 minutes, while LeBron saw 41. While the Cavaliers would go up 7 early, the Bucks battled back to take a 2-point lead entering halftime. And between Parker and James, the rookie took the first half.
Here comes the target, Parker. Oh, a big time. Parker, look out here. Get away. Inside Parker again.
Tough.
Inside Parker.
Oh, what could have been a Jabari Parker, man, if his knees didn't fuck him over.
He's still looking for LeBron to his right shoulder. Steps back deep corner. Can he get it off in time? Does. Oh! Pulls up for 3.
God damn.
Sails. soars, misses. LeBron jumps the three.
Then in the second, while LeBron and Parker would shoot nearly identical from the field, LeBron going 4 for 7 and Parker 5 for 7, LeBron clearly had the upper hand as he tacked on 16 trips to the free throw line. The Cavaliers would hold on to win 111 to 108. But all in all, it was one of the best games of Parker's rookie season. His 22 points would go on to be his second highest total of the year. It's really a fascinating game to look back on. Parker stepping up against a player he was once compared to as a high school phenom, a game that was setting the stage for an incredible story. But this story was about to take a huge turn for the worst. Less than 2 weeks later, Parker would tear his ACL, sidelining him for the rest of his rookie season and for the start of his second year. His career would just never quite recover. He missed 37% of his games over the next 5 years, dealing with a variety of injuries. It's really hard to wrap your brain around just how special a Giannis and injuryless Parker duo could have been in Milwaukee.
Facts.
Yes!
He's a center playing like a guard. He's really explosive for his body. The things that he can do is unbelievable.
Now, even with the injury stopping us from seeing what could have come of Parker's career, it's safe to say the Parker-LeBron comparison was a flop. Frankly, it was starting to feel like no matter who came along, a LeBron James comparison was naturally going to disappoint. So thank goodness folks quit comparing 18-year-olds to LeBron, right? Well, just 1 year after Parker heard his name called by Commissioner Silver, another hotshot youngster was taking scouts by storm. Ben Simmons, a 6'10" point guard out of Australia, someone that had all the tools, the vision, the defense, the athleticism, the footwork. He looked the part of a truly transcendent superstar, akin to, yes, LeBron James. In fact, some were bold enough to stand behind Simmons having a legit chance to overtake LeBron as the next basketball icon.
I look at the NBA, which I've watched for 4 decades, and I say this now with Ben Simmons. Hey, LeBron, we're good, bro. You can go. You don't have to. You can hang around. Still great, but you can go. We're all good here.
Coming out of LSU, we really only heard 2 comparisons, LeBron and Magic Johnson. That should sound familiar considering Johnson was a comparison often made for LeBron when he came into the league. Simmons was the wire-to-wire favorite to go first overall in 2016, even after a somewhat disappointing season with LSU that saw the team come into the year ranked 21st in the country, but by March...
If only we would have knew that this nigga was a lazy bastard. His whole fucking... This nigga cheated his way to the end. Ain't no fuck. That's incredible. This nigga finessed his way to the NBA. We gotta give him props for that. We gotta give this man his props. He finessed his way to the NBA. This nigga Ben Simmons finessed his way to the NBA. This nigga was showing us back then at LSU he was lazy. He was showing us that he was lazy back then. He was showing us that he did not care about this shit back then. It was just, nigga, give me the bag. And then when he finally got to the NBA, he finessed everybody. He was playing good. He was making the all-star team. He was like, yeah, whatever, man. Yeah. He didn't care about this shit. Once he finally got his money, once the Philadelphia 76ers got him that extension, he didn't want to play ball no more. Ben Simmons don't want to play ball no more.
They were on the outside looking in on the tournament.
He didn't want to play ball no more.
Now, ahead of the draft, LeBron played a good sport about the comparison. He told ESPN in December that he didn't mind the comparisons. Someone's going to be compared to someone all the time, and I don't mind him being compared to me.
The first pick in the 2016 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Ben Simmons from Melbourne, Australia, and Louisiana State University.
They now had both Joel Embiid and Simmons on the roster after years of rebuilding through the process. Unfortunately, Sixers fans would have to wait a little bit longer to see their franchise savior take the court. Simmons suffered a foot injury that would sideline him for his entire first season. But even during Simmons' foot rehab, the LeBron James connection remained strong. Yet another Sports Illustrated feature, this one about Simmons' long journey and the end of the process in Philadelphia, included a statement from LeBron saying, "You have an opportunity to be better than me, but you can't skip steps. You have to do the work."
Yeah, that's the problem right there. He skipped so many steps and didn't put in no work. Now this nigga sitting on the bench talking about some, the old Ben Simmons is back now. Oh, the league better watch out because I'm coming this year, buddy.
Hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Shut your bitch ass up, nigga.
A statement that would prove to be wiser than he could have ever imagined. The two would finally get a chance to meet for the very first time on November 27th, 2017, roughly 20 games into the regular season. And for most of the first quarter, the Sixers kept things close with the Cavs. They were exchanging blows, a tough drive by LeBron, a nice fadeaway from Embiid. But it was LeBron's dominance that defined the start of the game.
Layup. There's James again, the bump and run with Simmons, and he got two mystery. Nicely delivered by James, shooting the three very well. James rather healthy.
15 points in the first quarter, accounting for over half of the entire Cavs total to that point. He'd also already hauled in 7 rebounds. Ben Simmons, meanwhile, was awfully quiet to begin his debut versus LeBron. By the end of the quarter, he had half as many turnovers as points, of which he had 4. In the second quarter, LeBron continued chugging along, adding 7 more points to his total, including this fadeaway. Simmons added just 2 more. Quarter 3 marks the low point of the game for both Simmons and LeBron. The two combined for just 4 points, with all of them coming from James. Instead, it was the Joel Embiid show. The future MVP put up 16 in the third quarter. Then in the fourth, for the first time all game, Simmons managed not to finish a quarter trailing LeBron's point total. They both accounted for 4 apiece. The final result, a blowout for the Cavaliers, 113-91. The final tally portrayed a typical dominant performance from James, a 30-point, 14-rebound double-double. Simmons, meanwhile, finished with a stat line that would become all too familiar: 10 points, 8 rebounds, and failing to even attempt a 3. Now, surprisingly, he's actually only lost 1 more game against him in his entire career to this point, a 105-98 defeat just a few weeks later. Simmons would win both the matchups in 2018, and since LeBron went to Los Angeles, he's gone winless in his 3 games against Simmons. But though Simmons' teams have performed well against LeBron, the player himself has not. James has averaged over 30 points against Simmons, who's putting up only 17 a game. Pretty solid compared to the player we know today, but obviously not in comparison to LeBron. Now, as far as the expected career of grandeur and transcendence, we're still waiting for it, and all signs point to that waiting period lasting for eternity. After a woeful playoff appearance against the Hawks in 2021, Simmons was traded to Brooklyn after refusing to return to the Sixers the following season. Since arriving there, it hasn't been pretty. LeBron might have seen greatness in Simmons, but the latter decided to skip steps and simply refused to put in the work. Now, since Simmons, no one has quite earned the LeBron label ever again, and for good reason. There won't be any player who's exactly like him, no matter how talented. But though the LeBron player comparisons have basically vanished, there's still another form of comparison used that invokes a 4-time champion: hype. Just as LeBron was hyped as the greatest prospect since Magic and Kareem, several players since his entrance into the league have garnered similar excitement. One of the most notable of those is Zion Williamson, the explosive big man out of Duke who burst onto the scene with a handful of mind-boggling high school dunks. But even Zion's hype probably pales in comparison to the Victor Wembanyama hype train, viewed by most as the greatest talent to enter the league since LeBron, some going as far to say the greatest prospect in the history of this sport. It's hard to find the right words to describe the league's excitement for Wembanyama right now. It's hard to say if all the hype will be worth it. Zion's already struggled to stay on the floor due to injuries, having appeared in only about a third of his total games for New Orleans over his first 4 seasons. One thing they share in common, the only LeBron comparison that might be justified, is unrivaled excitement. So at least in some capacity, the story of LeBron versus the next LeBron isn't over just yet.
Probably not. But,
And I say this.
probably not. But, yeah. That's just going to about do it for this one. I thought he was going to go into the Zion one. I didn't think I ain't think about Wembanyama. It's too early for Wembanyama. Plus, he plays a whole different position. So, yeah. But I thought he was going to do the Zion too, because I was anticipating the Zion one. But yeah, man, the Jabari Parker one, that shit was a reach. I can't believe I should have known it since Jabari Parker wasn't a fucking thumbnail of this video, but. Still though, Jabari Parker was the one that took me for a loop right then and there. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons speaks for his fucking self. Could have been if he put the work in he could have been, bro. He could have been, bro. All you had to do was develop a jump shot, and you right there with LeBron. If not better. You don't put in the work. You've been showing us since your time at LSU. You a lazy piece of shit. You just did this for the money. You finessed your way into the league. That is crazy. I cannot believe that shit. This man finessed his way into the league. He put the work in early, and once he got the money, said, fuck it. I'm going to just do what the fuck I want to do. This man really sat here and finessed his way into the league. That is crazy. But anyways, though, that's just going to about do it for this one. I don't really know what to tell you, man. Yeah, man. Fuck Ben Simmons. Bye.